All right, this is Brent Marvick with BP Kitchen Equipment. We have here a 2019 Bizerba GSP HD slicer. The slicer is overall in a pretty good shape. I should mention this is an HDW, although this says HD. That is because Bizerba, for some reason, never put the W on these. But you can tell that it is because of this. The W stands for weighing platter. This weighing platter and accompanying HMI just allow the slicer to do some extra things that the normal automatics don't really have access to. More on that later. For the time being, I'm just going to explain the overall cosmetic condition. The gauge plate is in really fine shape, so I gotta reset my alarm here. The blade cover is in fact used. It is also in fine shape. Let's do some close-up shots here. The blade is in great shape. It's been cleaned. It has still quite a bit of life left. We are going to sell the slicer for a little bit less, just due to some slight cosmetic damage. You can see here on the back side that it got dropped or something, and due to there being some really slight cracks in the plastic. It's not anything that's actually going to affect the function of the slicer. This plastic will last for a long time. It's just due to it's really just, again, a cosmetic issue. As for the longevity of the slicer, I should say, the mechanical and electrical have all been checked and passed. We actually had a bad board on this slicer. I had to replace that with another one that we had. The HMI has been updated. All of the mechanical parts have been lubricated. For example, behind this knob, there's a cam that allows this whole thing to just slide back and forth really easy. That has been lubricated. This carriage also slides back and forth on a rod. We used machine oil for that. Whether it's grease or oil, for example, this rod is oiled, and then this rod here on the back side is oiled. Both of it is done with OEM from Bizerba H1 Food Safe grease, or H1 Food Safe oil, excuse me. And then the parts that are greased, the remnant grip, for example, and everything behind this knob that slides this gauge plate up and down. All of that has been lubricated with OEM Bizerba H1 Food Safe grease. Everything that we do, we try to use it as OEM from Bizerba, so that I mean, you're really receiving these slicers already serviced. You know, we don't want to sell you used product. We want to sell you something that you would get from Bizerba. All of our slicers function just as they would from Bizerba. They're just a little bit of use for us, which results in a discount, right? Something else we do is we actually sharpen all our slicers before we go out. So you're not going to get a dull blade. You're also not going to get a blade that needs to be replaced anytime soon. So here we are. Let's run this baby. So the slicer you receive from us will be sharp enough to cut a sheet of paper, no problem, as long as it doesn't go behind the weighing platter. Here you go. If you have any other questions about our 120-point refurbishment process, please just feel free to reach out to me. I'm more than happy to explain it. And all of our slicers are backed by 120 days. We stand behind our work. We care about what we do, and I want to leave satisfied customers. Let's go into the process of the HDW and how this differs from a normal automatic. So both the normal automatic and the HDWs have an option for the manual mode and the automatic mode. The manual mode would work just as you expect it to. We can tell right here that the blade is running, and you can just manually move the slicer back and forth. You can do small strokes, you can do long strokes, it doesn't really matter. One benefit to having an automatic slicer is this. It's assisted. It reduces the amount of fatigue that you're going to put on your arm, or your employees are going to put on your arm. It's just kind of generally nice to have. I know, for example, Jimmy John's only has automatics for this reason, even though they rarely ever run it in automatic. But let's talk about the most important factor of this, the automatic mode. So we have it set here, so we're in automatic mode. More on this little section later. Then we have the stroke length and the stroke speed. Because this is on a Lazy Susan, we have it on the long stroke length, on the low speed. This is how she looks. So the slicer will just move back and forth on its own. You can walk away, you can do your thing, and it will continue to run. One caveat to these HDWs as opposed to the normal HDs is that, there we go, is this section. So this section means that we're, see this little circle right here? It means that we're gonna go for a target amount of slices. So right now, the target is 50, and it's currently at 10. Let's change it to 10. We'll put it down. The machine is smart enough to know that every time it runs back, runs forward and back, then that is going to count as a slice. So once this reaches 10, it is going to automatically stop on its own. It's a nifty feature. I definitely like the amount of slices. It's useful if you're doing quite a bit of prep work. The function that I personally really like is the weight. The weight is cool. You have here, let's remove this sharpener. So you see right here that currently there is no pounds, no ounces holding down on the platter. You can set the target amount of ounces to be whatever you want. So 0.25. Here are the preset values, 0.5. So you want to go up 5.5, 6, right? And these preset values are just able to you're able to just input things easily. You can also change these. So let's say you wanted to do 10 ounces. 10 ounces. There you go. And you can change this preset to be however you, whatever you need, however you need. So you can see it's going to automatically cut. Then once it reaches 10 ounces, it's going to automatically stop on its own. It's a pretty nifty feature. What I especially like about this is this infinite button. You would assume that just means it's going to keep cutting forever and it's never going to stop, but that's actually not the true benefit of this, in my opinion. What the infinite means is that it's just going to keep cutting until no more weight is added to the platter. The reason that that's beneficial is you can put a whole turkey on this, or whatever you want. Set it to the infinite weight, automatic, proper stroke length, and then just walk away, and it's going to cut until no more turkey falls down on the platter. The reason that you want that is going to reduce the amount of maintenance you have to do on these machines. In the service settings, which I can show you later, the machines recommend to be serviced every, I think it's like 50,000 or 500,000 slices. It's quite a big number, but what you're doing by reducing the amount of slices that it moves back and forth on, you're prolonging the maintenance that you should do on the slicer, right? So you're just getting more effective with your equipment. I'll do a video on just how the HMI works in depth at some point. For the time being, I'm just going to explain. You can actually adjust the speeds on the blade speeds. There we go. So 160 RPMs is slow, 200 is medium, 250 is high. You can change that at any point if you want to. So instead of 160, low end could be 300. Not a great idea, but you can adjust it depending on what kind of meat or cheese you're using. Then you can adjust those three different sets. You can also adjust the screen brightness, pretty straightforward. Leave it at the stock 44. This is also the information menu on the scale software. You can see the HMI and the motor controller board have been updated. They're green. That's just something that we do on our end to make sure that all the machines that go out are you're able to they're unlocked, so you can actually go into the operator menu as well as the service menu. Again, I'll be doing an in-depth video on all these different menus that the slicer can maneuver into. But for the time being, if you have any questions, just feel free to reach out to me, and I'm more than happy to resolve any questions you have. Hope you have a good day.